But I'll tell you, you made a good point about technology. And I was just having this conversation today about technology. Technology has really ruined a lot of our relationships.
I think so.
And I mean, I can text my way to a date.
Right.
Versus like doing the work necessary, calling her up. Not when I was coming up, like you said.
Right.
You know, we used to call the house, and the mama would answer the phone.
Right.
And she'd be like, she ain't here right now.
Exactly.
Leave a message. And then it's a possibility that she wouldn't call you back because she didn't get the message until she came home.
Exactly.
But now it's like that instantaneous gratification that we're looking for. And truthfully, we can go a little bit deeper in terms of the psychological ramifications that happen with relationships. I think a lot of people are afraid of being alone. And what I mean by that is, if you notice someone that's sitting by themselves, right? Sitting by themselves, they can't just be quiet.
Right.
You typically see someone picking up the phone.
Right.
And they're scrolling in there. They're trying to figure out, they're trying to connect.
Right.
And there's so many of us that are missing the connections that technology has offered the illusion of connection, but we're truly disconnected.
That's very true because, and like you said, you can get dates just by texting, and then you can find some people will even get somewhat offended and say, well, I don't really talk on the phones, but back in the days you had no choice but to talk on the phones. You had no choice but to go to the person's house or go out on dates and things. And I think also with technology, people can really be misled in terms of thinking they are in a relationship when really they just getting some Twitter love. I mean, or some Facebook follow back. There's nothing happening, baby. He just hitting you back on Facebook, or he's just, especially if, and how true is that? That if a person is really just seeing you through technology, and you really haven't connected, physically, you're not going out, you're not, getting to really know that person. How well can you know a person via text message,
It's true. It's very true. And it's the illusion of the false connection that we have. And unfortunately, there's an entire generation that's coming up that really doesn't know how to socialize.
Right.
And they really don't know how to communicate with one another. You can put two kids in a room and they won't be talking to one another. They won't be playing. They'll be playing the little video games, the handhelds. And when I was coming up, we went outside.
And you had to make up your own games.
Our job was to play.
Something. Something.
When I came home from school, I got out of my school clothes and put on my play clothes. That was my job.
Right.
That's what I did. But it's people today that really don't know how to communicate. Technology has really ruined our ability to be able to connect and commit to one another because we have greater options that are available.
And how important, as it relates to the book and the things that you're teaching, how important is that to get back to the old school in terms of get back to the connection, the real down home, one-on-one talking, meeting the family and things like that?
It's extremely important. And when you're talking about men, you're talking about us doing a better job. And there's a chapter in the book that talks about proximity infatuation. And what that means is that we kind of get whatever's close to us, or we get whoever is available to us. And our a man is as great as his options. And sometimes I think that our options, the more options we have, the greater chances that we have to not commit. They did a study that was in California on jelly. Jelly, the jelly and jam in the grocery store. The little old lady that's at the grocery store and she's doing the sampling.
Right.
So they did a sampling study about purchase parity and how many people would actually purchase some of the jellies that they sampled. So they took and they put on one table, they put 4 in one day. They put 4 different samples of jelly. And then the next day they put 16 samples of jelly. But what happened is, and what they concluded is that more people purchased the jelly on the day that it was only 4 versus 16.
Right.
So if you take that into context of our relationship, there's so many of us that, the more options we have, the greater the chances that we will not buy the cow. Because we keep thinking that, this jelly's going to taste a little bit better than that one.
Wow.
This one's going to taste a little better than that one. So for our relationship, we got to get back to minimalizing the the availability of so many different people and so many different options that we have, and with social media and some of the television shows and all of the internet and everything that's out there, it's really, it's almost castrating our ability to connect. And I think we have to get back to the basics.
Okay, so we have women, relationships.
Yeah.
What's number 3?
And commitment. And commitment for men is simply this. It's the ability to lead by example. And leadership is the only 2 things a man has to do. Decide and commit. That's it. At the end of the day, that's all we have to do. Decide and commit. Make a decision on who it is that you want to be with. And what was unique about it, I surveyed all these guys, and in the book you can see like the survey results and all of that, but I asked the question, I said, if there was a law that came out mandating everyone in the country to get married in 2 weeks, you had to choose someone.
Wow.
Do you know who you choose? 83% of the guys said yes.
Wow.
So that leads you to believe that we have someone in mind, someone that fits the mold, has the requirements, the needs, the deal breakers, everything that we like, everything that we love. It's just that we haven't decided and we haven't committed. So the idea is to, if we truly want to be leaders, because I haven't met a woman yet. I counsel a lot of high-profile women.
Right.
I haven't met one yet that has said, you know what, if a guy came and he had everything together, he was a leader, I could look up to him, he didn't have any ego or anything, and he came to me and said, baby, I got this, sit in the passenger seat. I haven't met one yet that says I wouldn't give it all up. They all would give it up